This is an Aztec sword, also called a Macuahuitl. It was a sharp as well as blunt weapon that could slash or bash in ancient Aztec times. I want to make one out of human teeth. Yes, you heard that correctly. An Aztec sword made out of human teeth. Why, you may ask? Don't worry about it, that's why. Macuahuitls were typically made out of wood and had a chipped or napped obsidian edge. Obsidian is a volcanic glass that when broken into smaller pieces become extremely sharp. In fact, obsidian is so sharp, there's even some surgical scalpels made out of it. If you want to learn more about Macuahuitls, check out the Hacksmith's video. He makes a pretty dope one, and he teaches you how to pronounce Macuahuitl.
Macuahuitl.
If you want to learn more about napping obsidian, check out the How to Make Everything's video, where he learns how to nap obsidian. Both videos will be linked in the description. This Macuahuitl won't be made out of obsidian though. This one will be made out of teeth. You should subscribe. After trying to buy real human teeth online, I was mostly unsuccessful. And I got put on a list. So I had to find a way to make a replica of my teeth so I could use them as the blade's edge. I settled on using dental molds with dental alginate. The teeth I was most interested in was my front teeth and my canines, since they're the sharpest. Once I got the negative mold of my teeth done, I had to make a positive. To do this, I tried using plaster, which didn't quite work how I wanted, so after failing way more times than I'd like to admit, look at all this failure. I decided on using a quickset epoxy. All of the products used in this video will be linked down in the description. Once I had the resin positive mold, I was able to 3D scan my teeth and import the mesh into Fusion. Once in Fusion, I was able to adjust the layout of my teeth to one that would make a better edge on the Macuahuitl. Finally, I 3D printed 30 sets. Psst, hey, come here, come on. You want some teeths? From those 30 sets, I was able to make a new silicone mold which housed all of my teeth. To cast the teeth, I used an acrylic resin, which according to the internet is one of the materials used to make fake teeth in dentistry. And we all know that if it's on the internet, it must be true. I used this material so the teeth would be as strong, if not stronger, than real human teeth. Which, by the way, let me know down in the comments what other weapons you want to see made out of human teeth. Finally, I had to make the actual sword part. I ended up just using a 2x4, which I cut a handle out of, shaped, and then cut a channel around the whole blade to fill in the teeth. Then I just attached the teeth with JB Weld. Now, we have this monstrosity. I have a confession. I made 3 swords out of human teeth. We have the acrylic resin one, which I named Wisdom, an epoxy resin one named Root Canal, so we could see which epoxy is better. And finally, a metal one named Chomps, which took me about a month to cast all of the teeth I needed. Should I see a therapist? Probably. But since they're already made, let's go test them out. So I thought we'd start with the acrylic resin. This is supposedly as strong as actual human teeth, so let's see how it does against the ballistics gel, which I made myself, by the way. You can check out the video linked in the description. 1, 2, 3. So check this out. That is a good first knuckle deep with the acrylic resin. And probably about like 9 inches. So the epoxy resin, I really just wanted to do this as a comparison between epoxy resin and acrylic resin to see which one's stronger. 1, 2, 3. Epoxy resin actually went past my first knuckle. Same size, about like 9 inches, but look at that. Definitely deeper than the acrylic resin, which only goes just before my first knuckle. Metal Macuahuitl. 1, 2, 3. And down goes the clean room again. About as deep as the acrylic resin, which is actually shocking to me. Next up, we're going to test it out on a melon. Supposedly melons have the same thickness-ish, or same hardness as a human skull. Wisdom tooth, the acrylic resin. against the human head melon. 1, 2, 3. I'd say that does pretty good. Oh, no, it did not. If we look right here, it actually broke right where I hit it. So this resin is not very strong. It is a clean break out of there. Epoxy resin sword, good old root canal here against the human head. And by human head, I mean honeydew. 1, 2, 3. If you look, they're in the exact condition from before I hit it. So I think we can determine that epoxy resin is stronger than at least that acrylic resin. Time to do it with the metal. I think we all know the metal's going to survive, but it's gonna be fun to hit anyway. 3, 2, 1. I'd say that did pretty good. So, as you can see, metal, perfectly fine, exactly how we thought it was going to be. This is really good honeydew. For the final test, I want to see how durable these are. I'm still going to do it with the acrylic because, well, I want to, but as we know, the acrylic already broke. So, got a coconut here because it is pretty hard, filled with liquid. Let's see if the acrylic resin can do it. 1, 2, 3. So, as you can see, did even more damage to the acrylic resin, missing some teeth in places, more of them shattered. Did do a number on the coconut. I'd say acrylic resin is definitely not the strongest and not the best substitute for human teeth. Epoxy resin, good old root canal in 3, 2, 1. Not nearly as clean of a break, and it did do some damage to the epoxy resin teeth. They actually held on better than I thought, and they're actually sharper now. So maybe it's a good thing if these break and shatter and get sharp over time. Either way, I'm actually pretty impressed with the epoxy resin. Now again, this is aluminum, so I'm not sure what could happen here. It could break. It could be totally fine. In fact, it's probably going to be totally fine. But since it's aluminum, it could break. Chomps in 3, 2, 1. Totally husked it. And as you can see, got a big ol' crack. Oh, it was still having water in it, it's everywhere. My aluminum teeth, perfectly fine, baby. So of the 3, aluminum obviously wins. I'm actually surprised with the epoxy resin. I did not think it would hold up as well as it did, and I'm disappointed in the acrylic resin. I was led to believe that it would be stronger. Which one did you think performed the best? Which one were you most surprised at? And do you want to see more of this kind of content? Either way, thanks for watching. Get out of my house. This is an Aztec sword. This. One, 2, 3. This is a It was a blunt or sharp. It was blunt and sharp. 3. It'd help if I hit it. This is an Aztec sword. I'm talking like William Shatner.